So last year in 2015, Boris Worm and Manuel Dörli from the Dalhousie University in Canada, they started a project which is called the Cape Verde Elasmobranch Research and Conservation Project. Why did they come to Cape Verde? Because it is thought that Cape Verde is probably the last remaining place where we still have a significant number of sharks in all of West Africa. In Senegal and all the other countries on the West African coast, most of the shark populations are in a very, very low state. And so they came here in hope that we can still, let's say, save the sharks here, and then they can go over to the other West African areas and repopulate those areas. Mayo is very special for many things. One of them is the biodiversity in the sea. And what we see here a lot are sharks. There's lots and lots of sharks, mainly because there's only artisanal fisheries here. So we have no semi-industrial nets and no industrial fisheries. Very few longliners, so that's probably the reason there are lots of sharks. Praia Real, where we have a very good cooperation with Big Game Mayo, is a very special place because it's full of nurse sharks and also lemon sharks. We think that Praia Real is probably a mating ground and a nursery for nurse sharks, and maybe also for lemon sharks. So the project in Praia Real with the cooperation with Big Game Mayo is that when they go fishing for sharks, what they have to do is that they have to tag the sharks, as you saw in the videos. And this is very important because with time, we will be able to establish a population structure. So we will know how many females, how many males are there, and how big its population in total. And we will also see movement patterns within the bay. Now we have been seeing it in colder waters. We have many more males, for example, while in warmer waters we have more females. This is something completely new, and this is something, the first data we've already gained with this cooperation we have. And what is also very important is for an accurate measurement, because with this we can also estimate growth rate. So we can see if Big Game Mayo in a year catches the same shark that was caught in this trip, then we can see how much did it grow. And this is very important to establish how fast they grow, so we can see how the population is doing. One very important aspect of shark fishing is obviously the releasing. Everything we do it for the good of the sharks. So the last thing we want to do is to hurt the sharks, obviously. So Mattia and Alan from Big Game Mayo went through a very intense training period for several months where we explained and taught them exactly how to handle the sharks. For example, what most fishermen like to do is that they just drag the shark by the tail up the beach or along rocks. And this is very bad for the sharks. They actually usually die because of this, because they have no bones. It's like the ears, you know, the cartilage. So if you pull your ear a lot, it hurts. And the same is for the sharks. And you can actually, let's say, break the cartilage, and then the shark is paralyzed and dies. And also, what many people also do is to put your knees on the sharks. And this is very bad because their body is all soft, so you can actually squash the liver and they die also. So please, when you go shark fishing, make sure you know how to handle sharks properly, and do not do these things because they will die, and that's a shame. So if you go shark fishing, what you want to do is when you have a strike, bring the shark in as fast as possible. Then bring it to shallow water where you can remove the hook, or if you have to, put him up on the beach. Never drag him up through the tail on the beach, because that will dislocate the vertebrae and they will die of this. So if you have to put him up on the beach, maybe take the shark with two people by the pectoral fins and lift the shark a bit up from on the sand and then drag it up. Then work as fast as possible. Maybe if it takes a bit longer to take the hook out, maybe take a little bit of water and put it to the mouth, into the gills so it can breathe, and then put it back in the water as soon as possible. What is always good to do is that you go along with the shark, so that water comes through the mouth and it starts to breathe again, it's oxygenated. And as soon as you see that the shark starts swimming by himself, let him go, and he will usually be happy to be in the water and would swim away.